Hey guys, what's up? It's Fern. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my slowest growing plants. I have picked 10 of what I think are my slowest growing plants, and I'm really curious to hear whether you have the same experience. I know some plants grow very differently in different conditions, so one that grows really slow where I live might just be taking off where you live. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting topic to chat about. Let's just jump into it. Okay, so first on my list, I think this is the slowest growing plant I have ever had, and it is my Hoya Carnosa Compacta Variegata. So it is basically a variegated Hindu rope Hoya. And this thing, I've had it for probably exactly a year now, and it's put out a few leaves, maybe 4 leaves. I'm not really sure, but the leaves that it has put out are completely white. Like, it just keeps putting out completely white leaves whenever it decides to put out a leaf. And that's kind of annoying because I think eventually they're just gonna fall off. So I don't know what to do to make it put out a leaf with some green on it because it's already so slow growing already. Yeah, I honestly don't know. It's kind of an annoying plant because of that, but I also really love it, so I don't want to get rid of it. Hoya Compacta are one of my top favorite plants ever, so yeah, I know there's ones with different variegation that probably grow a lot better than this like white pure white variegation. So maybe I'll look into getting one of those one day. But yeah, this is definitely my slowest growing plant that I own. Okay, next on my list is my Philodendron Rio or Philodendron Silver Stripe. This is, I think, my slowest like hanging, trailing philodendron type plant. I feel like it just like doesn't give me new leaves very often, and I feel like it's basically looked the same since I got it. But I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'll see a photo of this when I first got it and it will look completely different. I'm not really sure, but in my perception it just seems to be very slow growing. Like, I'm just like waiting for it to start trailing. I think it's finally starting here. This is like kind of trailing a little bit, but yeah, it definitely grows like remarkably slower than my Philodendron Brazil or regular Hartley Philodendron and Pothos. So yeah, but it's so beautiful. The variegation, it has this like beautiful cream variegation. So I love it, but yeah, it's definitely on the slower side for growing. All right, next I have to mention snake plants because they are notoriously slow growers. This is my Sansevieria. I guess they're not even classified as Sansevieria anymore, right? Which is so weird. But this is the Moonshine. I think it's Moonshine variety, and it has like really pretty lighter leaves. I actually think this one is new, and look at the markings on it. It's so beautiful. I will always love snake plants regardless of how slow they grow, and I think a lot of the times they grow so slow because they're known as being low light plants, so people put them in low light, and of course they're gonna grow slow in those conditions, and I'm guilty of that as well. But yeah, I've had this guy maybe for a year now as well, and it's put out a couple new leaves, but nothing too wild. It doesn't look terribly different from when I first got it, but I love it anyways. Next is another beauty of a plant. This is my Scindapsus Exotica. Look at the leaves. I love this plant so much. But again, it is slow growing, for me at least. I've had this one for a little while now, and it has put out some new leaves. This one is new. It's actually put out a couple new leaves recently, which is really exciting. But again, I just can't wait until this plant is trailing. I do find sometimes with these trailing plants that they are slow to start off and then they really take off. So maybe that will be the case and this thing will start growing a lot faster as it gets larger. We shall see. But regardless, I love it so much. I think it's gorgeous. I just can't wait until it's vining. Okay, so I had to put this one in here, even though if you watch my channel, you have seen this plant a million times and you know my struggle. But this is my Monstera Thai Constellation, and it is such a slow grower. However, I have had multiple bouts of root rot with it, and I'm pretty much starting over in LECA. but I've heard from others that this Monstera grows like incredibly slow and much slower than the regular green variety, and also slower than the albo variety. So it's not just me that thinks it's a slow grower. It is so rewarding when it does grow though. So, you know, it's kind of one of those plants that is worth the wait. So yes, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen her before. If you haven't, I'll link some videos down below following along her journey. It has been an interesting time, but I think we're finally heading up from here, so that's good. Okay, next I'm going to talk about my Staghorn Fern, which is such a cool plant. I mounted it on this cork thing a little while ago now, probably, I don't know, sometime in the winter time. But yeah, she is very slow growing. I honestly don't know if this thing has put out any new leaves since I've had it. I mean, maybe a couple small ones. It's really hard to tell when it grows, but I'm so excited for when it gets leaves that actually have the staghorn look, because this one's pretty juvenile. They're all just like straight leaves. Yeah, I don't know what it wants from me or if these are slow growing for everyone, but she's definitely taking her sweet time. That's okay, you do you. Okay, next, this is kind of going to be about cacti in general, but I will be showing you specifically my spiral cactus, which I love. I think this plant is so freaking cool. It's one of my favorites in my collection. However, I am just waiting for it to show any signs of growth, and I feel like cactus are always super slow growing. I do live in the Pacific Northwest, so this is not like their ideal climate, but it's August, so I thought maybe it would show some growth in the summertime. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just so excited for it to grow, so I'm waiting patiently, but yeah, like I said, not its ideal climate, so who knows. Next on my list is holiday cactus. This is my beautiful Thanksgiving cactus. She's actually pretty large and in charge. Like, she's not drooping over yet, but she's getting there. I have had this thing for many years now, and it is very slow growing, but I'm kind of okay with it. It's really rewarding to see it bloom every year. This thing has freaking incredible blooms. I'm obsessed with them. I love when it blooms. But yeah, I feel like it puts out only like a couple of these little sections a year. So yeah, she's actually growing right now. You can see these small ones that are pinky tinged. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, she does have some new growth, which is exciting. I love this plant so much. I don't even care that it's slow growing. It's one that I'll kind of keep forever, I feel like. So yeah, it can just take its time. It's all good. Next is a plant that I kind of have a love-hate relationship with, and it is my Ficus Audrey. This was sold to me, and the person working told me that it was a fast grower, and I think, well, it's actually just started putting out leaves within the past like month. For months and months and months it didn't show any signs of growth, but finally it's put out a few. So these ones at the top are new growth. They're really soft and nice. Yeah, it's just such a slow grower. I feel like it's kind of a picky plant. I don't know, that's kind of a ficus thing. So yeah, I honestly don't really know how I feel about this plant. I don't know if I like it or not. I'm probably gonna leave it here when I move, so this may be the last time you guys see it. But yeah, in my experience, very slow growing. And then last but not least is Dracaena, kind of in general, I guess. But this is, I don't even know what this is, a lemon lime maybe? Lemon lime Dracaena. I've had this thing forever. I've had it since before I really even got into plants. I think I just picked it up at like IKEA or something. I don't even remember. It's moved with me a few times now. I have it in this really pretty like stone looking pot. But this thing is slow growing. Like, it's not really that, it looks kind of big next to me, but it's not really that big. It maybe puts out like a few leaves a year again. To be honest with you though, I'm kind of happy that it's still growing because these can get massive. So I'm sure once I have this for like 10 years, it'll be a pretty decent sized tree. It must have been quite small when I first got it. It's another one that, you know, I'm not really into Dracaena and I don't think I'd get another one, but it's just kind of like classic and it just kind of comes with me along on my journey, and it's so low maintenance that I just, you know, she just sticks around and I love her. So yeah. Those just regular Dracaena are kind of cool though. I feel like they give like almost a 90s kind of vibe. I don't know. I actually dig having it around, so yeah. Iced chai latte is so good. Okay, so I think that was all 10 of the plants. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to chat about which plants grow really slow or really fast for you. If you could like this video, it would mean a lot to me. It really helps out my channel. And of course, subscribe if you are not. I make all kinds of planty content, and I also post the occasional vlog. I usually post Monday and Thursday. That schedule has been a little strange because I'm in the process of moving and yeah, dealing with some life crap. So I'm trying to stick to my schedule, but if my uploads are kind of weird at this time, that is why. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you and I love you so much. I hope that you're all well. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.